Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. The industry should be back to normal this week, and I have a normal amount of news today, including this item that dropped July 4th night. This one snuck in kind of in the evening. Ellen DeGeneres has canceled 4 of her stand-up comedy shows. Shows in July and August scheduled for Dallas, San Francisco, Seattle, and Chicago were canceled per an announcement on the Ticketmaster website. Reps for DeGeneres did not respond to the Hollywood Reporter who asked them for a comment. The statement says, "Unfortunately, the event organizer has had to cancel your event. You don't need to do a thing. We'll issue a refund to the original method of payment used at the time of purchase as soon as funds are received from the event organizer. It should appear on your account within 14 to 21 days. I hope she's okay. Now, my spidey sense is telling me this might be about ticket sales. I've been reading up on a lot of artists canceling shows this summer, and there's some Twitter account that'll show you that the arena is half empty, and then the host suddenly has a cold and cancels a show. I don't know if that's what's going on or not, but it is a working theory that I have, which is probably completely unsubstantiated. Hope you're doing okay, Ellen. From Hip Hop DX, your home for comedy news. Rapper Logic has a new talent, and he thanks Dave Chappelle for it on Instagram. Logic wrote, "Last night was one of the greatest nights of performing of my life. Me and Dave Chappelle shared the stage for hours doing stand-up back and forth, and then I did an hour set. It was an incredible secret show for our families, friends, and all my friends who came. Tonight I saw the future of how I perform on stage from here on out. Thank you, Dave Chappelle, and all his homies, who I now consider family." Sam Morrill's new special, You've Changed, is out on Amazon Prime tomorrow. In You've Changed, Sam Morill showcases his unique laid-back style, effortlessly riffing on his experiences about the worst person he's ever dated, the challenges of aging, and his take on various topics from cable news to the dangers of social media. There is a trailer. Let's listen.
Hook up with someone from another country, that's a different energy, right? I was with this woman from Argentina. Some stuff is lost in translation when this happens. You know, like right before we sleep together, she goes, "This I would surely regret." And I was like, I wonder what that means. You know, it's so interesting to be around other cultures, but...
Reggie Watts also has a trailer out, but his is, mostly music. He'll have a new special on Veeps on July 20th. It'll come out at 5 p.m. Pacific time. If you have Veeps and you remember on July 20th, just remember, anniversary of moon landing. That's how you remember that date. Reggie Watts' new special is called Nevermind. It's set in the mid-90s, and it points out just how wild our current situation is from the perspective of only a couple of decades ago. Yeah, the 90s, which are as far ago as the 60s were in the 90s. I feel old, don't you? Yes, with Nevermind, Reggie Watts covers all facets of present day, including instant delivery services, how Y2K ended up not being the end of the computer grid, the vastness of the internet, the X-Files, Windows 98, and the new Beastie Boys album. Sounds like a good time. I'm seeing reports saying that Saudi Arabia has sentenced a Netflix comedian to 13 years. The creator of Massamere County was charged with promoting homosexuality and terrorism for his South Park-style satirical cartoon. When Netflix picked up Massamere County in 2021, it quickly topped the viewership charts in Saudi Arabia. On the show, the citizens of Massamere, a fictional Saudi metropolis, suffer from the same everyday problems as the rest of us. Annoying viral trends, spoiled nepo babies, obsessive online nerds, pandemic-induced social isolation, and badly run delivery apps. All right, that sounds very relatable. In a now-deleted YouTube video, the producer said that he'd been sentenced to 13 years in prison and a 13-year travel ban due to the show. Apparently, the clip that has him in hot water is 20 seconds long. I'll keep an eye on this story. I watched some specials over the weekend. These are the ones that Vulture had recommended, and boy, the Vulture recommendor and I just have different tastes. The 3 that I watched, and they were all from that Vulture list: Natasha Van Blatt's special, and with all due respect to Jason Zinneman about not worrying about special, this thing is shot in a room, and I mean room, and in comedy, room can mean a lot of things, but I mean room. There's like 12 people there. It is not Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip. It is not that. It is not Carlin at Carnegie Hall. This is a basement somewhere, it looks like. Anyway, Natasha is fine. It's funny. It's entertaining. It's like I've been saying about a bunch of things that came out recently. It's fine if you want to laugh at something for 40 minutes. I didn't last. I was like, there's nothing special here. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's fine. It just exists. That's Natasha Van Blatt. I was excited off the review to watch Christina Catherine Martinez's How to Bake a Cake in the Digital Age. That one's on YouTube, so it's Natasha's. And I like weird, but boy, this was weird and not funny. That's not a good combination. I try to stay with it. I'm like, I like weird. Let me hang in there. Maybe this will kick in. And it did not. So that's no thanks for me on that one. And then I watched Dan Licata's For the Boys. This is the one where he went back to his old high school. I wrote, kind of lame. Sorry, Dan. I like the idea of what Dan is doing, but he's got a plant / not that good actress, or maybe that's the bit and I didn't make it to the end, but somebody playing an uptight teacher who doesn't like this material about, some of it is about things you might do to yourself to entertain yourself in front of the students, and the teacher is all offended at that. But it just didn't seem real. The students aren't quite laughing. Now, maybe this is a long con and I needed to stay with it, and at the end it all pays off. But that's not how entertainment works here in the 21st century. We've got a million things we can watch, and Dan Licata's For the Boys didn't grab me. So of the three, watch Natasha, but that's just a lukewarm recommendation for me. Sorry. What you should watch is Conor O'Malley's Stand-Up Solutions. That's on YouTube. Rolling Stone did a large profile of him. Rolling Stone writes, O'Malley's comedy operates at high decibel, high concept extremes, but his great talent is uncovering that nugget of humanity that makes you actually want to spend time with these characters. Yeah, amen, nailed it. In Stand-Up Solutions, O'Malley grounds his character Richard's wannabe Silicon Valley posturing with relatively humble aspirations, a happy family, a garage full of Toyota RAV4s, and in one of the show's best punchline spoilers, an all-brown house. O'Malley says, I think that's honestly probably closer to my desires. Eating McDonald's at a brown house is nice. If you're going to spend a full hour with a character, you want it to be somebody that you kind of like. You have to do it with love. You can't dump on them. Stand-Up Solutions was filmed live last October in Brooklyn on a modest budget. The goal was to capture a snapshot of the show. Back then, he was hoping to attract a buyer who might put up money for a bigger version. Nothing materialized, so O'Malley did what he always does. He put it online. O'Malley says, ultimately, it made more sense because I had a subscriber base and people would want to watch it. I'm just starting to post about new dates. I'm curious to see how the special feeds into that. But that's kind of the model now. You do the special and then hopefully you can size up. Fun fact, O'Malley is married to Adie Bryant. Did you know that? Me neither. Now you know. And do you like golf? Do you like comedy? Well, this week it's the American Century Championship, July 10th through the 14th at Edgewood, Tahoe. I'm here on the celebrities page of the AmericanCenturyChampionship.com website. Let me see what comedians and other interesting people I noticed. Nate Bargatze, talk about him in a second. Brian Baumgartner, you know him. He's, what's his face on The Office? Boy, what is wrong with my brain? You know, Kevin. I know you're screaming at your radio. Kevin. He's Kevin. Did I mention he's Kevin? He's Kevin. Roger Clemens, Seth Curry, John Elway, Larry Fitzgerald. Joe Flacco. These are not comedians, Sean. You're reading us football players. Okay, I'll stop. Colin Jost. Travis Kelce. You know who could be there. Hope Joe Coy's not at this thing. Oh, Rob McElhenney. He's gone Hollywood, sure. Rob Riggle, Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod, Ray Romano. This thing seems pretty cool. Now, last year, Nate Bargatze scored a T53 or a T53, or he was tied for 53. You golfers now are screaming at your phone going, John, you're a moron. I guess it's tied for 53 because I'm reading ahead here. And Ray Romano, best known for his role in the sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond, his best finish was a 57th in 2008, and he scored a T59 last year, so I'm guessing he was tied for 59th. Stop yelling at your phone. Rob Riggle was 64th last year. Colin Jost, 73rd. As part of the long-standing tradition of comedians performing for the Tahoe crowds, Colin Jost will play at the Blue Event Center Saturday night. And that is your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They may like it too. If you'd like this thing ad-free, calaroga.com/plus. Link in the show notes, $4.99. No commercials. Make them go away. Thank you. See you tomorrow.